welcome back to another video. So last week we took you guys on our adventure in finding our new van after riding off Lucy, and now we would like to introduce you to Lily. So she is a 2007 Roadstar Dreamtime cruiser, and it's a 21-foot cabin. Come with us for a tour. So we'll start off with the bunks. With this van, we actually feel like we hit a jackpot because most of the vans, actually all of the vans we were looking at, it either had bathroom or bunks, and not both. So we would have had to sacrifice our only seating space to build bunks, which is what we would have done for that cell van that we were looking at in our previous video, because it had two sets of couches, so one like dining and seating area and then a couch. So that couch would have come out so we can build a new bunk. And that's the problem that we were facing a lot while looking for vans that is in our budget to have both bathroom and bunks. So we really hit the jackpot here. Up here is Eli's bed. He's actually had some trouble sleeping in his own bed. I don't know, I think it's just a lot of changes that's been happening, but he's not too fond of being in his own bed. So we've just tried to make it as accommodating as possible. We put, well, they were on the roof, but he decided they belong on the wall now. And we've got this little nighttime lamp for him that sings songs to him and reads storybooks and that kind of stuff, and then just a big old fluffy dinosaur. And then down here is Riley's bunk, and we actually had this custom made again. We used the exact same brand, Cozy Khan, from WA that we had in Lucy. Obviously they're each made individually for what you need, so we had to get it custom made again. So that's Riley's bed. And then we also got these blackout curtains that we installed because he does like it really dark in there. And then we also have it up here. So similar that we had in Lucy too. And it just blocks off the boys. This actually, excuse the DIY. This is actually just like a hatch, but that is the person that wakes the boys up in the morning, so we've blacked that out as well. So at night time in here, it's completely dark. So I'm actually gonna leave this so you can actually see me, but this is how dark it gets in here. So the boys absolutely love it, which is perfect. This is like their own little nook. So up here is just, not really sure what to do with this space, because when we're stationary, when we're standing still, we put stuff in there that doesn't really have a home, but on moving day it all needs to come out because it's just going to fall out. So not quite sure what we're going to do here. Maybe install some doors or something so we can have stuff in there permanently. So in here it's just overflow of stuff. Yep. And then in here is toiletries, and same with this one here, but this is more like toothbrushes and toothpaste, hairbrushes, all that kind of stuff. And then in here is just the boys' swimwear and hats. So, and then in here is boys' clothes, so that's Eli's, and then the bottom is winter stuff, and then same with Riley's on this side. So our toiletries is in these cupboards up here because although we've got a toilet, we don't actually have a bathroom. It's got no storage. So we do actually have a separate toilet and shower, which we really do appreciate. In here we've got the just toilet. And here is our shower. Also our space that we keep our laundry basket because we don't have anywhere else to put it. And then same with our mop and our broom and everything. This shower head we installed when we got the van because the one that we had was just a giant one that was using too much water.
Poor pressure.
And poor pressure. Behind me we've got the kitchen, and here's a three-way fridge that we were actually going to consider taking out and just putting a 12-volt fridge in, but realized it's way more hassle than it's worth, so we just decided to keep it. And over here just our cupboards, so coffee, teas, hot chocolate and everything in the back. And we've also got a radio that we can't really seem to figure out how to work, but it's connected to all these speakers all across the van. And then here is just cereals. Yeah, like a pantry.
Pantry number one.
Yeah. Here is just plates, bowls and cups and everything that moves around every single time we travel, so open that drawer very carefully. And then here is just again overflow of pantry stuff. Up here we've got baking and containers that it also moves around and travel a lot. And here is our gas hot water system, and then over here is just our water pump. Now we do have a coffee machine because I realized when we had Lucy, because we have such a strong power system, we could have had a coffee machine this entire time, but didn't actually think about it until we got this van. So it's just a cheap $20 marketplace one that I picked up, but it beats instant coffee for sure. And then just our kettle here, our sink, we've got a filtered tap and then just a normal tap. In here we've got just a 3 gas and 1 electric burner. And then in here, on top one, we've got a grill, which we can't really seem to figure out how it works. And then we've got a full-size oven. Well, almost full-size.
Almost.
Everything works off gas, but for some reason, I mean, the grill probably does, but we just can't seem to figure out how it works. It's just not working. And then here we used to actually have a microwave, but that's one of the first things that went because we don't use one, and we just made it extra storage. And Rhodey also built just a little bit of a lip so everything stays inside when moving. Down here is, again, pantry stuff, spices. Yeah, spices mainly. And then down here is cans. Obviously, weight distribution, keeping everything heavy down low. Alright, and then on this side here is just our cleaning drawer, our washing stuff, so our washing bags, our detergent and spray and all that kind of stuff. And then in here, top drawer is cutlery, which opens a lot easier than the one that Lucy did. And then here is just our utensils. And then in here, pots and pans and bowls and
third drawer stuff.
The third drawer stuff that every house has. And then here's our seating area. Again, the table is one of the first things that went, same as in Lucy, because we just don't need it. Like, it's nice to have, but it just opens up so much more space. We've got a foldable table that comes in and we use that instead. This couch is actually a lot more comfortable than Lucy's was because it's actually cushioned, not just a slab of foam. And up here we've got an aircon, and a proper Caravan aircon, not a big chunky thing that sits in the back of the van. That is actually a household aircon. So yeah, it's currently on. It's running off its own, like the Caravan is plugged into itself basically.
So that's something we'll touch base on in a minute.
I just looked around to that light, sorry. Okay.
The roof is a very busy roof compared to what we're used to. There is switches for things, extra lights, radios, air cons, hatches, there's everything. It's a busy roof.
It's very fancy for us.
This is like a spaceship.
Okay, and here, similar thing we had in Lucy, just a divider to block off the master bedroom, which also comes in handy a lot. Again, blocking off noise, blocking off light and everything while the boys are sleeping. And then in here, we've got a queen bed. We've upgraded that too, because we had a double bed in Lucy, and also it's an island bed, so we don't have to be jumping over each other trying to get out of the bed. So that's Rhoda's side, that's my side. That's just hanging stuff. Probably don't even need to take you through the cupboards, but hanging stuff. And down there is our hot water system.
Oh yeah, you can't really see much of that. It's padded away.
It's covered anyway. And then Rhoda's clothes, and that's an electronics, and same with that one really. And that one's just my stuff. Like,
show them. Stuff.
Like books, and like I've got a little jewelry box because, you know, can't have a lot. And then here's my clothes and my hanging stuff as well. And up here is our little toy collection. So I think we covered in the Lucy walkthrough video that we're collecting all the characters and cars. We're not doing that anymore because we realized it's actually a lot harder than we thought.
We can't just buy them, it doesn't have any sentimental value.
Yeah, you can't just buy it, you have to find it. So we've decided to, any little toy car that we feel like will remind us of a place when we're there, we'll collect that and start building it up here. So this one here is from Olivia Park, and that one here is Nandali Hotel. We actually saw it the first time we went there, and they went back. It happened to still be there. And yeah, so I already asked if we could have it, and they said no problem. They actually laughed at us a little bit. So this one's actually from a very recent camp we were at. It was called the Smithsdale Public Garden Donation Camp. And the reason why we had this one is because they had this giant sand pit for the kids with all sorts of different sizes of monster trucks and diggers and all the kind of stuff just for the kids to get messy in.
We took a toy and left a toy.
Yeah. Yeah, we swapped it out for one of ours. And this one here is just my very special rock that my best friend Tia made me. I think this will just always forever go everywhere that we go because it's in remembrance of Lucy. And under the bed, which is not really anything worth showing, it's just a bunch of storage. So and the diesel heater, yeah, which connects in there. But yeah, I think Rhodey's gonna cover the solid because that's not my expertise.
Alright, so we have a very similar setup to what Lucy had. A few changes here and there. Originally, this van had an EGM setup in the tunnel boot. 2 100 amp hour lithium EGM batteries, a solar controller, and a trickle charge. That would have been great, and it did run the whole 12 volt system in here. But we got a 12 volt lithium setup and installed it under the seats. Up here is our fuse block, our interface core and kill switches, and in here is our solar controllers and just a bunch of wires. I'd show you, but it really just isn't the prettiest, so it functions and that's what we need. We're running 1200 watts on the roof again because it seems to just be what we need. 2 MPPT controllers, we're running a 3000 watt inverter, 2 200 amp hour lithium batteries, and everything in between, and a DC charger. We did have some 240 outlets put directly onto the inverter, ground out to the chassis. It was cheaper than getting everything wired in together because we have to run the aircon on a generator. It does run on the inverter though, that's what we do have set up. I've got just a 10 amp converter to a 15 amp line to a 15 amp cord to our inlet. So,
but it draws a lot of power.
It does. It draws about 100 amps an hour. So the original EGM lines that fed the lights, the pump, the fridge, all that sort of stuff, have just been rewired to a bus bar, negative and positive, that I've just runs the power down to in the front. But everything for the van itself that ran on the EGM runs on this kill switch, but everything runs on the kill switch that I've installed. So it's a bit of a headache to get your head around, but once your head's around it, you kind of realize. And then we just got some standard fire safety stuff, carbon monoxide, smoke alarm, fire blanket, and just down there is our fire extinguisher. Yeah, other than that, that pretty well wraps up that portion of things. So we'll just do the outside of Lily now, give you a bit of a tour around. One of the things that I love the most is this little clothesline here. It's not really practical for big clothes, but it's super handy for jocks, socks, kids wear, all of that good stuff. The awning is 18 feet and it's got 2 ribs on it, and I'm not ever familiar with annex awnings having ribs. Usually they have that one support beam to like help with the slack, but yeah, I do like them. It keeps it nice and taut, I guess the word is. With the door, it's a double door, screen door and a normal door, but this feature here is something that I absolutely love. It's just handy getting in and out of a van when you got something to grab. So yeah, nice, tucks away easy. So the door is leaps and bounds ahead of Lucy's door, sorry. It just feels more sturdy. It tucks away when you lock it. It really doesn't feel flimsy like that Trimatic door lock that we installed on Lucy. But let's head to the back. Not too much on the back. We just have a PVC pipe storage, diesel heater tank, spare tire, and a reversing camera, which I've got to hook up. Vent for the hot water system. We got a water fill up point. In here is our cassette. I really need to get a second one of them, but $200 for a cassette, my goodness. All right, round to the front. So we got a detachable jockey wheel. I'm not particularly fond of that. It is another step to have to do when you set up and pack down, but beggars can't be choosers. We've got a breakaway switch, gas bottles and all that good stuff. Now I really like this tunnel boot. I didn't think I'd say that about a front tunnel boot or front boot, but it is very accessible. In here we just have our plumbing, like our hoses, electrical, stinky slinky, tap key, you know, all the good stuff, anti-flap kit. This was the original wiring that hooked up to a couple of EGM batteries in the corner there. All I've done is just run a power line from the lithium setup to the front and then put it on some bus bars so we can hook it all up and everything runs the jam. So we'll touch base on underneath of Lily. Now we've got an engineered plate stated that the gross trailer mass can be 3 ton, which means that they're going to try and push the ATM up to 3,300. The Roadstar is Melbourne built and the steel is Australian steel. It's fantastic. Anyway, see if we can get under it, give you a quick peek. Now just under it, there's no surface rust on any of the chassis. There's a slight bit of surface rust on the suspension and the axle, but really you're gonna get that. We've got independent suspension, so it's semi-off-road. It's quite lifted compared to Lucy was sitting, sorry. What else is there? We got 2 90-litre, or what looks like 90-litre water tanks under there, and that's pretty well lit. Now the windows are something to touch base on. There are so many windows on this thing, but Lucy had household slide windows which were just an absolute pain, but these ones are like those bubble windows without the second inner layer, and they're great. They're sturdy, reliable, they lock well, they open and close well, can't fault them at all. And we got LED lighting on the outside, which is fantastic, as opposed to having the warm light that Lucy used to have, which really didn't do too much.
By saying that, thank you guys for watching another one of our videos, and we do love the recent interactions on our videos as well.
Yes,
so keep that coming. Hit the like button and comment, and
kids have had enough.
Yeah. And we'll see you guys in the next one.
See ya.